everybody. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? What's up, Jax? How's it going? And Mistress, how you doing? Jason, what's up? Thank you all for coming, guys. And um, today we're going to share some insight of paranormal paranormal
Hey,
that
back.
we go through. And
Jax, you want a link?
yeah, you want a link?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you right now.
And their personal experiences that they go through as well. And we're just gonna wait for some people to come out the key, kind of left by accident.
Tim's here. He'll be back.
Yeah. Hey, Southwest Jeff, how's it going? But yeah,
I'm getting there.
how you doing, Jax?
Me or you? Me or Jax?
You?
You know, I'm just great. These puppies. Oh, I love them. How so much I love them.
Yeah.
They're under my feet right now, having a little walk around the chair. Here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Man, it's been raining over here too, man.
It looked like it was gonna rain here today too. It looked really dark and really. Hold on.
Okay.
Knock it off.
Southwest.
Knock it off.
That's good. I'm right.
Pew
A little
pew.
tired. You don't know why. Just doing nothing.
You're always tired, bro. You are.
But yeah, I'm excited to be here, man. And there we can talk about some paranormal.
Well, hey,
know?
Jeff.
Well, we always talk about paranormal, but yeah.
Our world is paranormal, okay? There's nothing
our
outside our
world
realm
is.
that's not paranormal except for cooking and cleaning and paranormal.
Exactly. So yeah, no, man. I just been, like, there's one thing I want to know, like, when you pass, right? Like,
Jax, I'm sending you a link.
when you pass and go to their side, how experienced people that are talking to you, who are they that are talking to me? Is it people that are talking to you that have passed, or are they angels, or helping you get through what you have to get through? That's what I want to know. Hey, what's up, Rain? What's up, Asian? What's going on? Liked your live earlier, man. It's awesome.
Hey, Rain, how are you, honey?
But I'm still trying to figure
out.
I was thinking about that yesterday, one night, yesterday and today. But I was thinking about who are those people that were always there with me, like comforting me, and oh, here goes Brent. What's up, Brent?
Hey,
what's going on, guys? How are you?
Okay. Good. It's cold, but it's cold here.
I know, I'm outside. I was like, I'm going outside. I'm like, dang, it's cold.
Bro, it's like going to be 30 degrees in the next 3 hours. What? Who else we got?
So he can see his scratch my head.
Oh, we got Tim. I sent the link to Jax. He should be coming. Why can't I?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello, Brent.
Tim. This Tim.
Tim, how you doing?
Brothers from another mother.
That's right.
I got lots of them.
Brent carries a lot of weight in the paranormal community.
You know what? You're gonna tell some of those stories that are gonna make someone's hair stand up on their arms, Tim. I know you got some.
Oh, who, me?
Oh yeah, you. I know you got some. I know Brent does too.
I think we all got stories.
What's the theme tonight? What's the topic?
We're gonna have okay, so what happened last time, and I think this is working better. We had an interview, and then we were talking, and then Brent goes, "Dude, I don't go." So I sent Brent one, I sent Jax one, and it just turned into a whole deep paranormal discussion. Like,
yeah,
what, why, why, who, what, how, whatever. Like, Eli's got questions still. I mean, I'm sure he'll ask the question again when we get everybody up here. I'm waiting for Jax, and I'm waiting for Midnight Paranormal. He should be coming, but Jax, you coming up here, bro? Come on, bro.
So I
What's up, Lisa?
I got about an hour that I can sit on here with you guys. Then we got our
yeah, you and Jared got your thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, okay, here. Whoa.
Yeah. Lady Jax, I had to put on my special Thanksgiving avatar for you. I don't know if you see my
Yeah,
thumbnail
I
there.
can see it. That's cute. Let's see here.
Yeah, my British friends keep calling me Eggsy for some reason because I like the Kingsman.
So do I. I love the Kingsman. I haven't seen the brand new one though that came out a year and a half ago. I haven't seen that.
The Statesman.
Yeah, that shows when when they very first started. Like who's in what
Oh,
yeah, the Kingsman, but it
yeah,
starts when
that's
they first started it.
Yeah, that's where they go up against Rasputin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but I tell you one movie I did like was The Gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
That was so good. Have you seen that one, Brent? The
I haven't.
Gentleman?
I've only seen the first two Kingsman.
Oh, well, The Gentleman is that well, that is not let's just say that's every word in the book you could think of a curse word, it's in it. It's in it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Really, but it was a really good movie. It really was. I thought, just like I thought Inglorious Bastards would be stupid, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
You look at the title going,
Inglorious Bastards was a classic.
yes, it's so good. That's one Brad Pitt's one of that was a really good one. I like Meet Joe Black. I thought that was another good one. I mean, I don't like chick flicks, but
way back
that
there.
to me was so good. It was so good. But I don't like chick flicks. Like I've never seen Dear John. I've never seen The Notebook. I'm not that kind of chick. And Blood or Scarface is my favorite movie. One of them. Yeah, that's what I like. Vegas, I sent you a link, girl.
Well, for me, it's as you might tell, I'm into Star Trek, into Star Wars, into Doctor Who, science fiction, fantasy, but a good spy movie, I'm right there.
Oh yeah, I'm James Bond all over. Just the best James Bond was Roger Moore, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Best one, I think. Sean Connery was number one, but then Roger Moore. Those are the two best ones. After that, I was
my
like,
wife would say Sean Connery.
Look, he's still good looking. I don't care, man. Look.
Mm-hmm. My favorite out of the Roger Moores is Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
That's where Jaws. That's where Jaws pops up out of the Sphinx.
Yeah. He's scary looking. I don't like it.
Oh, Richard Kiel, one of the nicest guys, and here he plays a monster for most of his career.
Right? Didn't he pass away recently?
Not too long ago. Believe it or not, he was actually a Christian minister for many years.
Really? That would scare the hell out of me. Shit. I'd be like, okay, all right, I'll be good. I won't have sex till like I'm 50. It's all right. Okay, I got you.
He would guarantee a come to Jesus moment,
Right.
You'd be like, we're going to talk about Jesus. You'll be sitting there repenting. He was a big man. He really was.
Yeah. He was 7'7", about 340 pounds. Even when he was 19, he got his start on, believe it or not, Twilight Zone, on a very famous episode of Twilight Zone in '61. It was called
I saw it.
To Serve Man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. He was the big alien. And he always carried around a book, and it said "To Serve Man," and everybody thought, well, hey, the aliens are serving us with all these high-tech goodies and stuff, treating us nice. No, they're fattening us up to eat.
Yeah.
Look, I got a theory on I saw the Phoenix Lights when I was back in '97. I saw them with my own eyes. Yeah, we were, back in the day when they had DJs on the radio, and you call in, you could request a song.
Yeah.
So, we're all standing out there, we're, having a few beers, and I hear the DJ say, "Holy shit." I'm like, I don't think you're allowed to say that on air. He said it looked like Phoenix was lit up like with a big flashlight, right? So he was talking about it. So I happened to look up. There was 9 lights in a diamond formation. And last time I checked, shooting stars don't go up. And last time there were no aircraft out there. They were doing no test runs. It wasn't a weather balloon. Don't give me no shit. I saw them. I looked in it for 3 minutes. I said, "That's nice." And I went in the house because I ain't going up in no spaceship. I went in the house. Hey, how you doing, Brad? But I did see them, and I've seen UFOs quite a few times. believe it or not, Arizona is a big hotspot for UFOs,
Oh yeah.
and Nevada.
Well, especially Sedona.
Oh gosh, Sedona gets them a lot. We had one here recently. It made our newspaper, and someone got a really good shot of it. But I'm telling you, they're out there.
Maybe you know the name of the place. It's owned by the University of Northern Arizona now, and it's described as the Skinwalker Ranch in Arizona.
Yes, I do.
And
Hey
it's
Ryan, what's
is
up?
it called the Bradshaw Ranch?
Yeah, they changed it. It's no longer
Yeah.
Skinwalker. It's now it is a. It's not like a ranch anymore. Now it's like a facility of I forget what they called it. Hey Jax, I sent you a link to come up on panel, and I got your message, Vegas. It's some kind of place where it's some kind of teaching thing. I forget what. I'll have to look it up again. But they changed it from Skinwalker Ranch because everybody was like trying to come there. And now you can't get 2 feet. They have cameras. They have cameras. They have people with guns out there. I mean, what they hiding?
Well, why would the University of Northern Arizona need camo guys? You know.
It's true. It's true. They think people are stupid. I'm not going to go near those gates. But somebody made somebody went up there and like videoed. I saw it on I think it was on like I forget where I saw it. Like one of the channels on like not the Travel Channel, but like something like that. But I mean, they've got high tech like equipment on their fences, like to see who's coming and going. And there's always some strange lights out there.
You're familiar with Franco TV?
Yep. Yes, he did it. He did it. Yep.
Yeah, he's had so much trouble with the Utah Skinwalker that he's actually been contacted by what's his name that owns the place now, the Utah billionaire, and he said he's trying to make arrangements to get Franco on the property, but he's having a lot of government problem.
Okay, yeah. Jax. Wow, there's a lot of stuff behind that gate, I believe, and I believe that
my bad. Don't want us to know. My internet messed up.
The worst one about the Utah Skinwalker Ranch is the Fire Ranger Tower that's up on the Mogollon Rim, just northeast of the ranch house. One of the volunteer rangers was interviewed on the TV show, and she was told that there's a quote special book you're supposed to read when you get on position there at the fire tower, and she said that some of the stuff in there just curled her hair because you will see things, you will experience things, and there was a special red phone number that you could call, and they would bring the Nest group out, if you know what I'm saying.
You said it was a special book they have to read?
It was a special manual that
the park.
Yeah, it was.
I thought she's part of the book they had to read or something like what?
No, she's a ranger with the DNR. And here she's being told no, feds will come out if you call that certain number, and it's a certain special squad that deals with these unknowns.
The Hellboy squad.
Kind of like they call it a nest,
right? Yeah.
It's called a near encounters squad tactics, something like that. But the initials are Nest, and the Nest teams, they've been in operation since Bentwater back in '80.
I don't know why the conversation here makes me think of the stories I've heard, like even from like military stories of
Hi, Eli.
And
now my internet's like so
out on a distant post, like so a soldier was sitting there, and everybody's heard like the black-eyed children. But these people with black eyes would come up like, "Let me in," and like them radio it back like, "Hey, this guy's saying he's so and so, and he don't look right." These black-eyed people, all black eyes. That's a crazy. I don't know why the stories make me think of that, but Tell you what.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
ever want to see them. Hey, Chan, how are you,
Look,
beautiful?
How's it going?
I'm a loving guy, but kids come up to my door with all black eyes.
You better go home to your mama.
Yeah,
You
Mhm.
trying to
better
get my
Ain't
car.
coming here.
No.
You better hope and pray to God I don't have a lot of holy water and some sage and some Palo Santo, and I'm gonna be throwing it at your ass.
That's right.
Yeah, but do you think that really exists though? Like,
Go find your mama.
I mean, I've never
mean-
personally seen it. You know, I've never experienced it and don't want to, but my imagination.
Not black-eyed children, but I have seen spectral children.
Hey,
There's an
Eli. Hey,
area.
Jack.
Hey, Vegas.
There's an area about an hour and a half northwest of my metro in northeast Iowa, and Jackson, my friend Purple,
Ryan.
she's very familiar with this area, and it's near the town of Mount Vernon, and there's a little country road out there with a historical landmark one-room schoolhouse, kind of like Laura Ingalls Wilder type stuff, and very historical, very haunted. And in this little vale where the school is, it has a reputation for hauntings. And 3 different times when my father and myself were delivering papers to that town, we saw kids in the road and nearly ran them over. It was 3:00 in the morning. There was nobody on the road.
Oh, Lord.
And yeah,
Well, anything's
and one of the times, the kid was so close to us, we saw her face, the color of her eyes. She even had freckles.
Wow.
And I mean, we stopped, screeched, nearly went off into the creek in the little bend there and near the schoolhouse. And we got out to look, and then suddenly the schoolhouse started ringing its bell. And the bell does not
Really?
ring.
No.
Has no clapper. So yeah, we kind of took the hint and got out of there.
You know, we had something like that happen in California. There was this school, and they said that there was a kid that died there, and you could hear, like, he died in. I guess he.
Where's it at? Because I want to go. I'm gonna go right now because I'm like 45 minutes from Cali. Where's it at?
It's in
I don't know about that.
it's in Ukaipa, Redlands area, like in the middle. But anyway, the story goes, I don't know if it's a legend or it's true, but the story goes the kid was on a swing set and broke his neck and he died in the nurse's station. So in the nurse's station, there's this clock. And I don't know if it's a clock that's making the noise, but you go there at night and it freaks people the hell out. They hear the clock and then they run. But I never went there. I heard about it, but I'm like, I don't know. It sounds kind of like just an urban legend.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's something, a little boy in there like knocking on the door to get out. I mean, some stories are a little far fetched for me. I'm like, yeah.
Well, anything's
Right.
possible.
I mean, when he broke his neck, he's not going to be in the nurse's station.
Yeah. Well, you look at
That's
weird things had happened in this world. Sightings and like things that ain't actually been lived in this world.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Hey, David, I sent you a link. Hensley, I hope you feel better, brother. Everybody's got that sickness going around.
Keep it with y'all. Keep that away from me.
Yeah, I don't want to either.
Don't come to Nevada. She'll hurt you. She'll hurt you.
No, I'll just stay away. I'll stay far, far away.
I have not got sick in the past 2 years. I usually get sick in December.
Never say never.
I just knocked on my wood, okay?
Don't do it, Jack. Don't get sick.
I'm gonna tell you right now, we had a dust storm, and oh my god, I got sick for 2 months because of that damn dust storm. Because I'm allergic to something, whatever those dust storm bring in, I get an infection right away.
Well, when I get sick, I get I get it bad because on top of being sick, it runs you down.
I don't want to get
sick. I don't sleep as is because I have an insomnia. So when I do sleep, it's like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours a night. Plus the little puppies just keep me awake all night long. They're sleeping through the night now. They're getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, so that's not too bad. From like 10 o'clock at night to 4, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But but having insomnia, you don't sleep, and then you're worn down from that. So when I get sick, I get sick. And I told everybody else, what you gonna do? What you gonna do if I get sick, y'all? You got to fucking figure out. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'll be unavailable. The house will shut down. People go on strike. Mama's sick. Get up. What are we gonna do? Y'all figure it out because I'm not getting out of bed.
Learn how to make some toast.
Oh, okay.
Right, you better learn how to cook today.
Shit. I got the recipe for. I got the recipe for water too. If you need that, anything you need, just come to the room. I can get it.
That's it.
Oh, Matthew, I sent you a link too. You ain't gonna kill no animal babies. We ain't talking about that tonight.
We're not going to talk about the dumb shit tonight.
No chicken McNuggets. No.
Come here, cutie pie. That gets me all my views.
Who gives you all your views?
I'm gonna show my cat because my cat's like the star on my channel right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she keeps getting all these views and stuff. I mean, my paranormal can't get as much views as she does. I'm so jealous.
My puppies get more views than I do.
Though, isn't it?
I mean, my cat gets more views than my damn paranormal shit, and I'm just like, wait a minute, no, this is not no.
Yeah.
Sugar and I have named the puppies Stranger Tuesdays puppies because they were born on Stranger Tuesdays.
Oh, that's awesome.
Aww.
I was supposed to be in that live with everybody. Go, bro, puppies are coming out. She goes, Stranger Tuesdays puppies. So every time we do a Stranger Tuesdays, I ask for the puppies. So everybody's like, oh, I want one. Actually, one of her subscribers wanted a puppy, and two of his puppies died in a house fire. Two of his dogs, and he was not ready for another puppy until his mom told him about the puppy.
You're cute.
Well, he wanted one. I said, honey, that's an awful long drive to come from Wisconsin all the way to Arizona to get a puppy. He goes, oh, I thought you were close. I'm like, no,
it's only 2 hours. You got this. It's only 2 hours.
I know, right? Only like 18-hour drive for a puppy. I said, you know what you could do? Call the Humane Society.
I drove 4 hours to get my cat because I lived in Williamsburg, Virginia when I saw my cat, and I drove to like Bumfuck, Egypt, North Carolina to get her. And she's been a part of me ever since she was like 4 weeks old. Now she's like, now we're inseparable.
Hansie said he just got smacked on the ass by a spirit, Eli.
What the hell? We did not.
Oh, wait, was that your new ghost girlfriend? Did you finally find one for you? I don't know.
No, he has a spirit in his garage, I think, or basement, doesn't he?
Sound like a ghost girl to me if she's smacking on your ass.
Okay, I got a question. How do you deal with the non-human spirit, not from this world?
Dude, I actually captured one in January.
Is that the
and
one,
their energy is
the one that what's his name looked at the shape?
No, he looked at the one at the washout club, and I was so honored when he could not debunk it, because every time I watch the video of the washout club, those 4 spirits that walk by, I try to debunk it every time. I'm like, maybe it's the lighted, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and he couldn't debunk it because I can't debunk it. He's like, well done, you know. But the what you're talking about, Eli, the energy off of I call them conjured spirits because that's what they are. They're spirits that were conjured here, because the one that was in the hospital that we captured, it's not from this world.
Yeah. Well, like mine.
If you look at it, if you go to my channel and you look at it, you can definitely tell it is not from this world. It is not a human form spirit. Now the ones I captured at the Washoe Club, they're human form because they walk in front of my camera. The apparition I captured at the Nevada State Prison, it's human form because you can see an actual human. This one, the one that I captured at the abandoned hospital, it is not from this world because it's different shape, it's different energy. It's basically like a black mass. And it was weird because it was making so much noise. But when you look at the picture, it has no feet. Almost like it was floating.
Is there a difference between that and the poltergeist? Maybe?
Poltergeist, yes.
Okay.
Eli, you might want to
take over, Iggy. This is all you, boy.
I know I have one, but that's because it followed me from, my death, you know what I mean? And now it's, I guess someone says
he
it's
has
like
one that likes to move a lot of shit in his house.
Yeah.
Like Rocky's collar, his dog collar, that thing jingles like all night long.
Yeah.
Noises. I mean, poltergeist is definitely, it's a noisy ghost. Not necessarily bad. It doesn't make him as bad. It's just a noisy ghost. They just have the ability to do a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if I've ever had any issue with
I
a
don't have any.
non-human spirit. I definitely have pissed off what I believe is a human spirit,
Hey,
and it
David.
messed with us for months, moving stuff,
David,
doors, doing stuff like that.
Hey, what's going on?
how are you?
I send links to pop a bunch of people. Hensley, if you're
I
not,
don't got- I
I'll
don't
send
got
you a
any
link, but
issues
you're
with
not
mine.
feeling
No,
too
no,
I
well.
finally get
here, I
to
just
I
had to
finally get to
find my
talk to one of my
microphone and-
subscribers.
There you go.
We talk to David all the time. David's
I
my
don't talk to David all the time. I only talk to him when he's in my chats.
David's my homie. He's another brother from another mother.
Oh yeah.
What?
That's awesome.
Clean off that counter. When you do the dishes, you do them properly. It's not half-ass.
So I never had
Oh, yeah.
I never had a problem
You
with
sound
mine.
like me, girl.
You know what I mean? Like it's just there.
Whoop.
Like I mean, sometimes I hear the dog chain, sometimes I don't. You know, like or knocks or
Does the
whatever.
dog react?
Hey, Lori.
Lori.
Huh?
Does the dog react?
No.
Bestie.
Only me and my fiance use it, and that's it.
But does Rocky kind of like?
No.
Does Rocky like? Didn't you say he
Uh-oh,
barks
who
and
went-
looks? He barks and he looks.
Yeah, he
funny?
barks at a certain area, like right here.
See,
Always
Now-
looks
He
up
lost
at the
her.
ground. But he
Same-
doesn't bark at it.
same
That's
thing
where your
happened-
friend is,
same
right
thing
behind
happened
you.
with
That's
us,
where he
bro.
barks.
You definitely have something there, Eli.
Yeah.
You kind.
But
I
it
think
wouldn't
that's two
be any
things
issue,
there.
though. Only my fiance does.
Oh, there's
man.
Tim.
Calls it. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Brand gets
I'm
talked
ha-
to a lot. Brand gets talked to a lot.
I'm
Brand.
having
a
fun with
lot.
StreamYard, guys.
Again.
Mine's
Brand
internet.
Brand has a male voice speaking to her, and it's intelligent. Like
Yeah.
she was in the shower one day, and the spirit says, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Like, taking a shower." She thought it was Eli, but Eli wasn't. It was in another room.
I've had that happen before. My husband was at work one day and I had just got out of the shower and I heard a female voice go, "He's here." And I'm like looking around like, okay.
How many people can we have on panel?
Yeah, but
Think like-
it's really audible. You can hear it. A DVP. You can actually hear it.
Hear it. Yes. It's crazy when you can actually hear them and it's just like they're like, "He's here." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Who's here?"
Oh yeah.
And then I come in, my husband walks in the door and I'm like, "Oh." And then I'm like, "Who said that?"
Yeah, like I mean, that's the very first time I ever heard an actual spirit. Like I'm just like, I'm still kind of shocked about it. Like, yeah.
I hear him every once in a while in my house, every once in a while. So
I don't get scared. I just worry about if it's gonna attack her in any wrong way.
Right.
You know? So
can you have like 9 up here?
She's been waking up with weird bruises on her arms, so I mean
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Ooh.
thinking that.
Yes.
Why is he touching her? I mean, they're like,
a
you know,
hand mark
like
on her
I've
arm.
woken up before with
So,
like,
yeah.
you know, like like a handprint, the 4 tips of the fingers, like, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna show you guys it, Pixie. This is the Pixie right now in her little cute bubble.
Oh, she's cute.
Thank you. That's her being all right. I've like done cuteness overload. Now I'm gonna mind my business and go to sleep for the next 20 hours,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then have the zoomies in the middle of the night. You know, just zoom through the house.
Yeah. Sweet. It might be a ghost cat, you know, like
We actually think it's her brother, Tigger.
how did I know? See, I'm psychic.
You are actually.
Right.
Because he passed away, I think, like last year or the year before last, or he passed away before we moved out here.
Yeah. It's wild. Like, I mean, things you see, you hear, can't explain, but
Right.
still, you just think, did I just hear that? To see that? Sometimes you're like, oh, maybe it's nothing, you know, like,
We did an investigation last night, and it was crazy because I went back and listened to the footage, and like some of the things that actually came through, I'm like, I had to like listen to it over and over, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay. And it was like a female like mumbling, and I was like, because I was trying to debunk it to see if it was me, and it wasn't me because you hear the female mumbling, and then you hear me talking, and it's not the same voice, and I'm like, okay. Now I couldn't hear this when I was there, but I could feel the energy while I was there, and it was just amazing, positive energy. It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you can feel what is negative too. It's just
Right.
that weird feeling that not scared, but like you can feel the energy getting heavy.
It's an uncomfortable feeling. Exactly. It's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like my fiance sometimes,
that's an
like she'll be laying in bed and feel like really heavy and hot and everything. I'm just like, wow, I never felt that before. Like, I mean, like,
Right. And that's what I felt with that entity thing that was at the abandoned hospital. It was uncomfortable.
oh wow. Did anything get thrown at you or?
No, he just, not really. It was more, I could hear him behind me. I could feel the energy off of him. It just made you very, a matter of fact, I felt it the first day we were there, to be honest with you. When we walked to that hospital, I didn't even have to walk into it to feel what was in there. And then I saw it that week when we went back. It was about 4 weeks later when the hubby and I, it was just me and him.
Mm-hmm.
We actually went by ourselves. And this is when I got the cat balls because I was testing them out.
Mm-hmm.
And the cat balls went off. And I have a video of it. And you hear me say, "What is behind me?" Because you could hear shuffling behind us. And it wasn't really windy. So, and you even hear me say there's no wind, so you couldn't hear the shuffle. It wouldn't have been the wind shuffling. And I'm like, what is behind me? Because I kept feeling something was staring at us. And then my husband's walking around, and then out of nowhere, I got that video, and I was just like, okay. And like I said, he has no legs, but he was walking prior to me capturing him on camera, but he has no legs. He's just floating in the air, and he's in like literally
Wow.
in front of the railing.
Yeah, I mean, so don't get this wrong. Don't I'm thinking it's like a swirling ghost, like because they don't got legs,
A what?
Like a swirling ghost, where they generate from the bottom of the ground up. That's the reason why they don't got legs.
You could be onto something with that. You really could. Because to be honest with you, it's almost like it was like heavy footsteps, and then it would be like it was almost like he was pinging himself off of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's sort of like his energy is a little stronger.
Right. Oh yeah, it was strong energy. Yes.
Yeah, and it could
You can
actually.
feel what I'm talking about.
I know
Eli?
because when I was a spirit, like that's how I felt. I didn't feel heavy. I felt light, but it feels like I was like I was going where the energy was taking me.
Right.
Like,
Pinging.
yeah. So
Eli,
yeah.
can I ask you a question going back to your initial inquiry? You had asked, have you had encounters with non-human ghosts?
Yeah.
And Vegas is giving a great evidence about non-humans.
Oh yeah.
You might want to clarify though, because there are many different kinds of non-human entities that are out there.
That part.
Everything from what she was talking about conjured spirits. That's also called thought forms.
Yeah.
Those are manifested by the people that are there. Okay, that they will draw the spirit from the other side.
Yeah.
Then also there are the true negative, the evil, the demonic, and then you also have interdimensional, and you also have extraterrestrial. So you might.
So Iggy, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I was gonna ask him questions after you. So.
Yeah, after Eli's finished answering you.
You go.
No, he was directed at you. You go first.
Well, no, because my spirit followed me. Mine's different though, because I know what you mean. I was going to get down to that topic too, because like conjuring and everything, and so on and so on. Mine followed me from the other side though when I had passed. And I'm sorry for interrupting you earlier too, by the way. But yeah, that I don't know what that is though, because I don't really know. I'm not really. That
it's not a conventional attachment. What you have, the Eli, is somebody that thinks they're familiar with you from either now or from before. Okay. And if you believe in reincarnation, that is an earlier you.
That part.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I was thinking too.
If it's
almost like a doppelganger.
Yep.
Almost. It's also from the interdimensional point of view, that theory holds that person that you have following you from the other side is an alternate you. Okay.
Could that
And
be
literally,
could that be my old self or the past me?
you had in your life before your near death experience, you had a catastrophic point where you should have turned left and then you turned right instead,
Yeah.
and that's the you now. So the
Okay.
left turn person is the one that's following you.
Okay. Wow.
That's what an interdimensional would say.
Wow.
And that's probably why we have so many lives too, because when you have so many lives, it's also you did something that you weren't supposed to do, or you were supposed to do and you didn't do it, and you're actually in the next life trying to make everything right. That's another thing that I believe in as well, because this is my 7th life, because something I did in my past, I didn't do it correctly. So I'm trying in this life to do everything correctly so I don't have to be reincarnated ever again.
I
Because I'm
agree with
tired.
that because you think about it, it's like a big old circle. You know, like you got to pass it and do the right thing, or else
Tomorrow.
God's going to send you back to make your life live. You know what I mean? To pass on, like you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be working.
Or is
It's all in choice.
all choice? Yeah, because God doesn't
All
give you
in
free
choice. Because you have so many different ways that you can decide A, B, C, all the way down to Z. And that's why, like Vegas is saying, that she has a karmic path that she's following, to earn the cosmic brownie points to move on to the better, And in your near-death experience, you had literally the come to the divine moment where you found out you are here for a certain reason, and that's why you're back. I had that similar experience, and so that's the commonality that you and I hit off on.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense, though. It really does. That makes a lot of sense.
You really did on that. Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I was thinking about that like to last night and everything. Even today, is like, could that be it? What I'm going through. Like, is it my my other self? If you know what I mean.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's like Mr. Jax. Hello to you. I've heard a lot about you, but I keep getting you confused with Sister Jax. So,
yeah. I promise, Jax, I didn't tell him anything bad. I've known Jax a very long time, Tim. A very, very long time. Me and Eli.
Oh yeah,
and
he's
Dave.
Awesome. Hey, what's up,
and, well, I hang out in other chats with Mr. Vingman, so he knows me very well too.
Same. Mr. Vingman knows me very well as well. Hey, Vaughn.
But the question that you had there was very powerful, Vegas, because you were asking Eli, is there something that is manifesting as we live that is forming a negative, shall we say, tsunami against us, that's pushing against us to the bad, to the worst, to our death, and it's a case where not so much it's an outside influence, it's us ourselves.
That part. Right.
Exactly.
And so when you were talking about like different form spirits, like, because you were talking about the spirits where they're different, like they're, like I was saying, where they're different shape. So what do you classify? So we've already figured out that homeboy that's at the hospital, he's a conjured spirit. And then now the 4 that I captured at the Washoe Club, they were also in different forms. You actually see the one walking in front of the camera, then you see another shadow follow behind him, and then you see a shorter shadow follow behind him, and then you see a half shadow follow behind him. Now those are human form shadows, and those are basically shadows that have lingered and not let go of this world because they're stuck in their time frame at the Washoe Club. Hence why everybody investigates the Washoe Club, for the simple fact that because they want that epic capture, I was live when I got that. So like I wasn't expecting anything really to come out of the Washoe Club, but I have felt the energy there. Now, when we were at the Nevada State Prison, then there was an actual human form, and he was shaped like a human, but in dark form. So which ones would be which? What would you classify him as which? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. How did it feel? How did it smell? And what was your experience for each of one of those entities?
So the one at the Washoe Club, it was. Now I may sound like a nut job when I say this, but I don't really care at this point. When I walked into the Washoe Club the night we investigated it, I actually felt all of the energy around me, and I literally had to push my hand out and say, "Guys, I know you're here. Woosah, I can feel your energy. You're excited that I'm here. I get it. Back off. I will investigate you guys in a few minutes."
Right.
Now, the
They
one
were
at the
trying
Nevada
to
State.
overwhelm you.
Yes.
You had a welcome committee. Yep. Did you guys see the Alone in the Dark episode where Omar Gosh went into the Washoe and he had that exact same experience?
I don't watch Omar for my personal reasons.
I
No.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Jax can vouch for he had that same overwhelming experience when he first walked in by himself. You know, it was a whole different vibe when the guide was there or when, they had tourists in,
Yeah, it's a different vibe when you got people there, and then it's a different vibe when you're by yourself.
Yeah. And Vegas, can you tell me, did you smell anything in the way of like cigars, cigarettes, tobacco, maybe perfume?
We did keep smelling perfume as we went on through the night. We smelled the old building. We smelled, at one point, we smelled it was more like a cologne. And then at one point we like, it smelled like a casino, because at one point that used to be an old like poker table. There's an old poker table in there. And
that's the one that they committed suicide at. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a guy
but I was in the dining room though when those came through.
There was a guy that at the poker table is actually from the casino that was across the street from Washoe. And the gentleman in 1883, if I remember correctly, had lost literally his mine, his claim, and $17,000, which was a massive fortune even back then. And the only response to the winners as they're laughing at him was to pull out his gun and blow his brains out.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you still feel that. Did you feel a pull to the left side of the table?
To be honest with you, these spirits actually greeted me at the door when I first walked in, because when you go to the Washoe Club, you actually have the it's the room that's right before the crypt, and that's basically what they call base camp. And then you go outside and you go up the stairs, and then when you go up the stairs, you actually go up another stairs into this room that actually where you walk downstairs. Now, I was actually on the stairs when these spirits said, "Hey, we're in your face," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yep. Where did you encounter the male, the full male apparition?
And when I was live, and I was actually in the room that they call the doll room. See, they have the red room, they have the doll room, they have the poker room, they have the red room I call the demon room, because the energy in there is just awful. It really is.
There were killings in there. Yeah.
Exactly. And so the four apparitions came through when I was in the doll room, and I had the cat ball go off to confirm them walk by, because as soon as they walked by, the cat balls went off.
That's really cool that you got independent evidence of their presence.
I was shocked.
I mean, the best evidence, Eli has mentioned this, Jax has mentioned this, and I say to anybody that investigates the paranormal, use your own senses first.
Exactly.
I mean, if you do have psychic gifts, fantastic. Use them, but always keep those in the background. And then after you debunk everything you can, then you turn to how did you feel? What was the experience like? What did it mean to you? Okay. Those are the messages that can come through after you have had that experience from an objective point of view, you know?
Exactly. And then there was another where I actually spoke, and then literally right after I speak, you hear a woman say, "No," but I'm not. It was just me. I was the only female there.
Was she in the poker room when she said that?
I don't know. I don't remember where I was. I think I was in the hallway, and I got that
Okay.
response.
Was it kind of a gravelly female voice? You know, like
It was almost like one of the what do you call it? There's more of a respectable word for a hooker.
a call girl.
Call girl. There you go. It sounded like a call girl.
There was a call girl there that was there for many years, and she became the madam there, and she eventually died in her room up I think it's on the second floor on the Washoe. It's just up the hallway from the poker room.
Thanks, Amber, for coming by.
That's where I heard the no, then probably because that's where we were. We were on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check
Yep.
it out later.
Wow.
Yep.
Do you work there or something?
Do I work there?
Yeah.
No. Jax, do you want to tell them how I know?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a psychometrist. That's a fancy word meaning that I know the stories, the backgrounds, the histories, and I can experience what happened in a place, time, to a person.
And he's also been in radio a long time. So I'm sure
Can you
over
tell?
the years he's lots of
Just a little
crazy
bit.
stories.
Well, I mean, it's awesome that you're confirming everything that took place. You know, it's really awesome that you're confirming all the history, all the backstories and everything, because this is also stuff that they tell you in the tour when they're doing the tour.
This is the lore that is part of what is the Washoe, and there are some manifestations that scared people like Zach Baggins when they went in there and got the willy scared out of them. But there's also people that walk in there and they say, "Oh, it's a dump," It's all in their attitude when they walk in. If that person's closed up, well, then yeah, it's an old dump. Okay. But you went in there and you had the respect for not only the premises but the presences at that hotel. Eli, what was your big experience with a non-human entity?
Well, I just found out I had one on my house rating that Hawk did on mine, Hawk Paranormal. So I mean, it doesn't bug me now. Honestly, it like says a few words to me, and I'm just like, what? Like my daughter, she don't like drink water, and it's like, we'll make her drink the water. I'm just like, what the hell? I hear that, and I'm just like, wait a minute, like, how do I hear him? I haven't heard him when I came back. Now I hear him. Like, it's kind of weird, like. I mean, it don't scare me because, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like all my fear just got taken away when I got back because everything that I experienced and seen,
Well, for the entire panel, I mean, when you experience something that you have never seen before, never heard before, a growl in a friend's apartment, or that black mass that's at the end of the stairs. Right now, I'm living in a two room flat in a security senior high rise, and I have a straight line of sight to my restroom. I have to keep the door open because it will open by itself and a head peeks out. That's my previous tenant.
Jax was there for
That's
like 8
my
hours.
previous. Oh yeah.
He caught nothing.
Yeah, I was there. I was there for like 8 hours.
That's wild, man.
Took the tour. I was up by the Millionaires Club, by the ballroom, all that stuff. I was in there.
Right.
all by myself. Caught absolutely nothing. Nothing. No audio, no video, nothing.
You didn't see anything out the corner of your eyes, or any strange creaking or footsteps or anything like that?
No, sir.
We had something fall from the ceiling while we were sitting there minding our business, doing an investigation.
And it's funny too because there was another channel that was there a week before I was, and I saw the video that they had put out, and they were sitting down at a table. It was probably in the poker room, but they
Right.
moved the table up against the wall, and they were using a Ouija board. And
Oh,
Ouija boards
And-
aren't allowed there.
they snuck it in.
I need you to drop.
yeah, not a good thing.
And I said to them, I said, well, the last team right before us, they had used a Ouija board. He goes, no. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's on video. And I showed him the video. I said, is this your place? He goes, oh my God, that is our place. And they are using a Ouija board. I'm like, I told you.
Mm.
Yeah,
So-
they don't allow Ouija boards at all in the Washoe Club.
Brother, how are you? Mox in the house.
Hey, Mom.
And the thing is that we were expecting the worst of the worst because we didn't know if they actually closed it down properly or not. So,
Yeah.
but we caught absolutely nothing.
Mr. Jax, when you left that poker room, did you have anything like a headache, any kind of a feeling of a change of mood, disorientation of any kind?
It's funny. It's not just the Washoe, but any investigation that I do the very next day feels like
Drained.
I'm completely drained, that I didn't get any sleep whatsoever.
We call that a paranormal hangover.
Yeah.
Well, you have a huge shield on you, dude. It's natural. I mean, you're like a psychic turtle. You have an armor that won't quit. So I think the effort that you went through at the Washoe is what drained you.
Well, it's funny because I am an empath. I can sense feelings, especially if I'm like even just going to a certain location and I know that it's going to get bad. I just have that gut feeling like something's there and it's not going to go right.
That's how I feel sometimes when I do an investigation.
Sure. But like any turtle, they're going to stick their head out to take a bite out of that food, and so you can reach out and you're sensitive to what you're oriented to, but you have a natural shield that automatically clamps down when you walk into a spiritual danger zone, shall we say. And kudos to you for maintaining that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these big places that I have been to, like I've been to Bobby Mackey's, I've
I
been
love
to
Bobby Mackey's.
Washoe
I love
Club.
Bobby Mackey's.
It's whatever I see or hear other people doing or seeing it on TV, I like dismiss it and get it out of my head.
That place it's full of energy. I've been there. This place is crazy.
I take everything with a grain of salt. I want to find out for myself.
You won't be disappointed because I'm going to tell you, when you go to the basement where they do the tours and stuff, you won't be disappointed because there's a lot of heavy energy in there, even in Johanna's room.
Oh, I've been in Johanna's room. Yeah, there is. There's a lot of energy there.
Now that's the janitor's apartment, right?
Johanna's room is actually her dressing room where she would get ready to perform on stage.
Gotcha. Okay. What was the most powerful negative place at Bobby Mackey's for you, Vegas?
Where the hole was in the floor, because you could feel the energy coming out of it.
Bingo.
Because they literally they have a gate off. Yes, they have a gate off, so if you can't go near it. But even though with it being gated off and it's still like open, you can still feel the energy coming out of it.
Yeah, it's as Jax would say, they didn't close the portal properly.
That part.
Yeah, something bad really happened down there ritualistically, and They've
let me ask
they've
you a
left it
question.
open for decades.
Let me ask you a question. How do you close a portal that's already been opened?
Spiritually, spiritual ritual.
hmm it depends on what your spiritual base is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm Christian based, so
Yep.
I have the full divine with me all the time, because I know that the Holy Spirit is within me and helps me. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, for a non-Christian, they might ascribe to Allah. They might ascribe to another deity. Okay, they if it's a say a Wiccan. Okay, they would draw upon the pure elements. Okay, pure air, pure water, pure earth, pure fire.
Right. That part.
Okay, exactly.
Mhm.
So,
Nothing's more pure than Adam's ale. That's water. Nothing harms evil more than something that's pure. So it's a
you
case
think that?
where, go ahead.
Okay, no, you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to ask Vegas, how do you close a portal?
I don't know because I don't fuck with portals. I really don't. I don't mess
That's
with them.
Okay.
smooth.
I
Sure.
don't mess with
Well,
portals, and I'm good. Nope. Not today, Satan.
it's also good to start a prayer before you mess with any spirit boxes, or and
Anytime I
end
go,
hmm
and end with the prayer, so you
anytime
don't.
I go into an investigation, I always say, I always ask my angels to protect
hmm
me before I go into
hmm
the building, and then anytime I leave a building, I always say, thank you for whatever evidence you've given me. You're not allowed to follow me home. You need to stay right where you're at. I do not give you permission to follow me, and I keep it moving.
Right.
But you know what I've discovered, even by saying just that at the end of your investigation, they don't listen. They follow
Yeah,
you
they
home
do.
anyway.
Yeah, they do.
They,
I have not
No,
had a spirit follow me home yet.
we've
But
had
how do
lots of
you?
people to follow. I mean, it
yep,
happens. I mean,
yep.
spirits, just because you say it, like, okay, here's the thing. Just
You gotta
because
say
you
it
say
with
it's
you
a
gotta say it
spirit,
with aggression.
Oh yeah.
well, you can say it with aggression, but spirits don't
Conviction.
live like they don't have the code like we have. They have their own way of doing things. And I mean, I know plenty. Billy Hawk, he's had several follow him home.
hmm
Jax has had follow home. Um,
hmm
I've had my spirits, the same three spirits have been with me since I can remember being a kid. They follow where we
hmm
went. They follow you. Just because we say, "Hey, you got to stay here," they're like, "Yeah, we can do it if I don't."
Well, then they listen to
We can
me because they don't follow me.
Yeah, but
hmm
how do you know that you have something attached to you, and how do you take care of the problem?
Because things don't feel right. Like I've had people have things follow them home, and they said that their life just changes a little bit. Things don't feel right.
hmm
I mean, yeah, to a point, yeah. I mean, because you have something in your house that wasn't in your house before. So, I mean, if something follows you, most likely, like I know that a lot of people have children follow them home. Like Billy has kids that follow him.
Yeah.
Jax had a spirit follow him home. Hensley. I mean, we've all had some kind of spirit of some form, because
hmm
like Jax is an empath. I'm sensitive. They know what we can see and feel them.
All right.
So why would we say, "Oh, hey, well, if this person can see and hear me, maybe I can
I
it's funny to me. It's like they want to start a conversation with you, but you don't know exactly what to say to them. So I never want to ask the spirit, "When did you die?" Because some don't know they're dead.
Right.
now
That's could be
I've
real. I
actually
never
hmm
say,
I can confirm
"When did
that
you
to
die?"
be.
I never say that.
I can
Okay.
confirm what you're feeling because when we first moved to Nevada, when we moved into our home, the back part of my house it didn't feel comfortable, and I looked at my husband after we got everything put away and everything, and I was like, "Does that back room feel funny to you, or is it just me?" He goes, "You feel it too, huh?" Well, after a while, I started like it. It almost felt like I was walking beside myself, And that was the best way I could explain it. And then because I just didn't feel normal, I didn't feel right. And then I talked to a psychic, she came into my house and she said some off the wall things. And I was like, no, because if this was the case, then I'd be feeling this. No, no, no. So I did a cleansing. I left my house. I came back and it was almost like me and myself basically reconnected with each other. And I've been fine ever since.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be careful with some of those people that say they can get rid of spirits in your house. Some of them are
Amen.
quacks. Some make it even worse than they even had it. I mean, some go in and say, "Oh, you do this, or like sage, blah 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 blah."
Well, is this sage sort of like supposed to lighten the feeling of the activity going on there, or does it take care of it sometimes?
It depends on what the relationship to you, to the spirit, and the spirit to the other side is. Because if they want to go back bad enough, they will. Okay. If they have family there, if they have children there, if they have memories that they want to pursue, it's like Faith is the name of the previous tenant that pokes her head out every once in a while here. All I do is just remind her, mind your space, mind your manners, give me my space. And we've gotten along for the 6 years that I've been here.
See, that's what we do at night. We pray and we tell to, hey, we got our own personal space. You got yours. Just back off. But you could feel it around you, like at night. You know it's still there. But you go to sleep fine.
Jax, was it a kid that followed you home, or was it? Well, your daughter's with you, so I mean, your daughter's there, but like Jack's daughter passed away, and she's with him. So I mean,
I'm sorry to hear that.
He knows she's there because she's been with him since forever. So I mean, it's hard to say when a spirit won't follow you home or when they pass that they don't stay with you.
How do you deal with that, Jax?
I just accept it. I talk to her every day. Once in a while, I'll break out the spirit box and I can talk to her. I did hear her once. One time in my life, I did hear her once, but, that was pretty difficult, but I was happy I was able to hear her that one time. I'm still honing my skills, so that's something that I'm trying to work on.
That's a lifetime, man. The more you learn, the more you ask.
That's why I told Eli. I said, we don't know everything. Even though he went pierce the veil a little bit, we still don't know everything. It's like every time we talk to Jax or even you or like David or whatever, we learn something new each time. Isn't that what we're all doing here? Isn't that what we're looking for? Isn't that what we're going out investigating for, to find out?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To find out, the truth out. And long after we're all gone, there'll be another set of paranormal investigators coming and doing the same thing, and maybe they're going to get it, but you never know.
But Jax, how do you know? Like, does she give you a sign that she's there?
Well, when I was with Vale, Vale was seeing her, so it's
she goes to the grocery store with Vale. Vale opened the door for her, and she just they're with you. And
even during one of our lives, so she ended up taking a screenshot and sent me the screenshot, and you could see the back of my daughter's head in the screenshot. And then as I was watching the video, you could actually see her at the back of her head with she took that screenshot, and when she turned on the light, she just went poof, disappeared. It was that quick.
I remember time you guys are doing this, I don't know, it was last year or the year before that. She went to go visit her kids, and she was gone like forever, and she needed to find a way back. So they had the flashlight, and those people, here's the light. Like, spirits don't know time. She could have went and thought it was an hour, and it could have been, what was it, a week or so back, Jax? So like, you hadn't heard from her like in a week or so, and about a week, and she was gone. And then even Val said, well, you were gone a long time. She goes, no, I just I just went to go visit. Now I'm back. They don't have to come. Like Eli said, the concept of time is different when you're a spirit than you are
Mhm.
It's
you know,
true.
like
It's just like
alive.
you could be in your living room, and it's just like
alive.
you could be in your living room, and then you walk out the front door, you're somewhere else, and you get lost in what you're doing. They can hear you, they can feel you, but they're lost. They can end up in a void. They can end up in a sunny grassy day. All that meant like they know they're supposed to be there with you, but they're in a whole different realm.
Mhm.
Kind of hard. It's kind of
With your loved
Part of
ones that you're
explaining
connected to,
everything.
it's
I mean,
it.
Eli told me some stuff, and I'm like,
Mhm.
Yes. Some spirits like to travel, though.
they do. And they
it's
go
true.
also talk to you in your
It's true.
dreams as well. So
I mean, my uncle is not always here. He comes and goes. Same with my grandma, my grandpa, my aunt Pauline, my aunt Seth. They've all been here because I know they're here. But then there's some days I'm going, where the hell is everybody at? And they're not here. And then next day they are here. So I mean, I think they do their things in death as they did in life. They just do what they do, as I say. They just go where they go.
yeah,
Mhm.
because they don't got a physical body. You know what I mean? They just me.
Right.
Well, you can't see from your back. You can't see from your sides. You just see wherever, like in back of your head you want to. Like it takes you to wherever. Like, and you step into another void and you're gone. Like but then you come back. Well,
Mhm.
it's just like if Jack's listening to one of her favorite songs, that brings her back to Jack's.
Yep.
That's how
Yep. So I told
Well,
my
yeah,
mom, I said,
some
when I die in
people
traffic,
do say they don't study, but
what?
they
Oh, go ahead, David. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
yes, yeah, some people say they don't have a physical body. Maybe not on our vibrational level. They could be just as solid as we are.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
It's
they
true.
could
I
be as
mean,
we are on their level.
right.
But on our level, they're not different. Just on a different vibration.
You're breaking up a little bit, David. I'm sorry.
I mean, I believe that spirits or shadows or
It's actually part that be very solid, very cool. You
Sound like a robot. I'm sorry.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
something's wrong with my internet.
Yeah, mine's like raining too. So I'm probably gonna cut this in 20 minutes just in case it cuts off. Um, Jax, what were you saying?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I think that
Yeah,
I
but
believe that spirits can actually like when we see them in either a full-bodied apparition or say I'm talking intelligent. I'm not talking about residual. Even shadow people. I think that they see us as a full-bodied apparition or a
Yeah.
shadow.
Yeah.
I think they see us as a ball of light.
Hey, what's going on?
Depending on how
Y-
but depending on how bright your light shines, I seriously think they see us as a ball of light.
Mhm.
Because I've
Yeah,
asked spirits that before.
we manifest on a whole different perspective than what spirits are because they have their own perspective. They basically are looking at us through the wrong end of their telescope. Okay,
Mhm.
and so if you look through the wrong end of the telescope, how far away are they?
Yeah.
You see,
That part.
and that's why when you have an intelligent haunt, especially a dear one like Jax's sister. I lost my younger brother a year and a half ago. He was only 44, had his heart stop. He was my closest friend. He was my best friend. And it was like because I'm sick, he was my arms and legs. So I had to relearn how to get out and do certain things for myself again. And there are times where I hear his chuckle when he would come over, sit across from me opposite my desk, and we'd sit there and cut stupid, dirty jokes at each other. And all of a sudden I hear that, and I know it's him, you know? And it's a powerful thing that he wants to have that relationship even after death. And I welcome it. And so that's like Jackson, his daughter. They have that two-way rapport that pull each other together so that they can easily communicate.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
It's crazy how, like, you know, like I remember when I passed. Is going back to how spirits travel. You know, I remember when I passed and I ended up in the black void, and I remember just seeing all blackness. I'm standing there, and like I remember my feet still planted on the ground, and my whole body's going forwards at a unknown rate. And I remember trying to say something, something just instead of something coming out, it was like a white substance coming out. And see when you, I mean, it's just a fast speed that kind of tripped me out. I mean, you know, I mean, just going back to what you were saying, Jack, you know, about, you know, how fast can they go spirit go? They could go at, you know, seconds, you know,
yeah.
before you say bye.
Writers call it the speed of thought.
Yep. I agree.
You know, it's a powerful thing that Eli shared with us. I'm sure that you've all heard, you know, the full narrative of what he went through. In my particular single experience, I've had, unfortunately, 2 episodes of this, but in the first time, I was standing on a small area, dry rock. I heard water lapping nearby, like I'm at a lakeside. I have all these people around me, but I can't see them. I can feel them. I can hear them, and they're moaning and groaning and lamenting, you know. And there's this light that appears across the water, and it's like the moon appearing through clouds, you know, off in the distance, you know. And you'd think it's like, you know, some kind of you know, Norman Rockwell painting or something. All of a sudden, everybody's saying, "I need to be there. I need to be there," and they're pointing and they're trying to reach for that light. And I realized what that light was. It was the divine. And I realized that I needed to be there. And then I had the experience like Eli, that the communication came, your time is not yet. You don't belong here, basically. And I felt a huge jerk, and I was back in my body.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
you missed your question.
That's crazy.
Like when you went in your body, did you feel like it was just painful? Like, I mean, to me, it was more
Yes.
like a shock. So not because they were bringing you back. It's more like, you know, like, like it's more like like, you know, whole body is just like hurting.
I can describe the first time that it was like being dropped off of a 3-story building through a glass panel into my body.
Yeah. Like that,
and
yeah.
I literally had small cuts along my back when they went to clean me up, and they went, "How did you do that?" You know, and I could barely move, you know, because I was sick at that time, and it was like I didn't know how I got those marks, and I said glass, and they checked the windows and everything, and they thought I had, you know, laid on a glass, you know, but it was like Vegas would say, I can only describe it as a crazy experience. It happened, it's true, but how can I tell you know, the average person that, hey, I was basically one notch from hell, and I got a second chance, you know?
Exactly, because your experiences are your experiences, and you know, it exactly. sometimes you can't explain what you're feeling, and you just keep it quiet and keep it moving, because you'll sound like an average nut job to a person that doesn't believe.
That's right. It's like it's like a lot of politics these days. That group says, "Well, I'm better than that. I will never experience that." Well, then the experience happens to them, and then they act all put out because they had to go through it.
Oh, yeah.
We've been through paranormal. We know what we're talking about.
Mhm.
And those people that scoff at us, they won't believe it until they actually have it happen to them.
Like, I never believed in getting marked until I got bit by one at the prison. I never believed in that
Mhm.
stuff. And then,
Mhm.
I was live on YouTube and I got bit by a spirit, and I literally filmed the stairs going up, and then I was getting ready to step down, my foot rolled and I almost fell. We went to the office and I looked at my foot and I had saw that I had been bit, and I did not entertain it. I did not acknowledge it. I was like, nah, this is I'm imagining this. And then, I couldn't walk the rest of the night. I couldn't function. I told Susan, I was like, I can't go. She's like, well, no, Vegas. And I was like, honey, I can't continue. So I tried to get at least, one more thing in at the death chamber, and I just couldn't do it. So my husband had to bring me down the stairs. We went back to the office. That bite mark was still there. And then I was like, no. I was still in denial. So when we finally got to the hotel, took my shoe off, took sock off, bite mark was still there, took a picture. It was gone the next morning. Now, bruises don't go away, and people want to say I made that shit up. So yes, I'm going to bite my foot, own boot, because I want the attention. No, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, people come up with the most wildest stuff when you're, when you sit here and say this happened. And so that's why I just stopped telling people my experiences, because I'm like, if you weren't there, so you don't know.
Right. I mean, there's sometimes, have you ever been in a conversation with somebody where you're telling them, I went through this, and they say, wow, I can't imagine that. And you basically have to say you had to be there.
Yeah, I actually took a picture of it, so I have proof of it. So when they want to discredit me, and I'm like, this says it right here.
Yeah. I mean, Jax, have you had that experience where, something has happened that it's so unique to your experience, that you had to be there in order to understand what you went through?
Well, in Massachusetts, I was experiencing the S.K. Pierce Mansion. It's one of the most haunted places in Massachusetts. On camera, it just appears like I fell down a flight of stairs. But what actually happened, less than a week after I went down those stairs, I went down on my left-hand side, and my feet never hit a step going down. There was 6 steps, and I hit the wall at the bottom of the steps at the landing. About 4 to 5 days later, I noticed I had a bruise right here of a handprint.
You were pulled.
Something grabbed me so hard and pulled me off of those steps.
It threw you.
Now, have you been to Salem, where the vortex is by that water fountain?
I have not been there, but I want to head up there.
Dude, you should go, but I'm telling you, there's a vortex. In between, there's a mall, and there's a water fountain, like off the main street. Between that water fountain and that strip, that area right there is a vortex. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the hubby and I, when we were in that vortex, me and him would be at each other's throats. But as soon as we walked away from it, we were fine.
Yeah, down in near southern Massachusetts, there's what is called the Bridgewater Triangle.
And Traveler.
It's 200 square miles, and it's the ultimate mega for paranormal investigating.
Yeah.
You name it, it's got it. It's got ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs.
Eli, do you have someone in your house right now?
Oh yeah, just my fiance.
Okay. I saw someone walk behind you, and I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's got one of those people in his house too. It's always behind him. It's behind him
Oh my
right
God,
now.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I mean, I just saw someone walk behind Eli, and I'm like, what?
No, that's my fiance. Yeah. My kid's walking by me too.
But you were saying that this
Sorry,
triangle
dude.
is 200 square miles of ultimate paranormal.
Correct. I mean, the person
Where's
who
that at?
Now, is that
Jax,
near
where?
Taunton?
it's Taunton is in the triangle, and
Oh,
so is Fall
fantastic.
River.
I've heard a lot about Taunton. Yeah. Fall River.
And Fall
Mhm.
River,
So where's that at though?
it goes from
Massachusetts?
yes,
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
That in one rock where I took bail that night
Oh
When
yeah,
she-
yeah.
when she got pulled.
Yeah.
She got pulled. She didn't get pushed. She got pulled,
No, she's pulled.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and she went. She almost went down backwards. But that was due to the story goes is that Captain Benjamin Church had left. It was during the King Philip War, which nobody knows
Mhm.
a lot about. They don't teach it in the history books
Yeah.
or in schools or anything. But went on for many, many years, and they actually burnt down several towns. They burnt down Swansea. Well, actually, it was a colony then. Swansea, Taunton, Middleborough, Lakeville, Carver, a couple other little colonies that they burnt down. But they were the last holdout of the Wampanoag tribe was at Anawan Rock. And Captain Benjamin Church had left on
Mhm.
business to go to Boston. And what happened is the second guy in charge decided to slaughter them on that spot.
David said thank you.
Now,
You know the biggest mystery I had, I know you're telling me that one is like Roanoke. Where those people go?
you know where they went? I know where they went.
Some say the Indians took them. Some say
Yeah,
they walked
they
into
were-
the river, walked into
they-
the ocean.
They absorbed them into their own tribe.
Mhm.
That's what they did.
But there was no
Are you familiar,
nothing,
guys, with
nothing.
something called the Melungeon?
No,
No, what is
The
that?
what?
the Melungeon.
What Jax was talking about was the Melungeons. The Roanoke colony formed the basis for the legend of the blue-eyed Indians
Oh,
in the
Right.
southeast
Oh,
United
okay.
States, the area around where Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina all meet. There are multi-ethnic people that identify by the name Melungeon. They are a combination of African American, Native American, and Caucasian. And that is the basis where the Roanoke people went. They went inland.
but there was no trace of them, like no nothing. Like when
That's
her
right.
like
Hmm.
there was like, nothing, not even there was nothing. Like it's like they
Yeah, they got traded. They were. Mhm.
My charger.
That's nuts. That's just
They were regarded as
got absorbed into tribes,
yeah,
but that's
they were
still
regarded
nuts.
as prizes. Yeah,
And most tribes did
it's
things
like
that
it's
way.
like when King Philip, for instance, he was part Caucasian. He was he grew to resent
Why'd you do that?
the
I was watching
Puritan oppression of their people because he was not regarded as quote full white, and the native people said that he wasn't an Indian because he wasn't red enough.
Right.
Tim, say something in chat so we can drop your link.
Yeah, because I'm going to end this in 5
Who,
minutes
me?
because my internet is
Yeah,
dog right now. So I'm letting y'all know.
Okay.
We might do this next week. So,
Mine's not.
yeah, 'cause
Okay,
my
I'll drop
internet-
something in
I
chat.
got a new internet. I got satellite now, people. I don't drop
Are you
nothing unless
modded,
I.
Peggy?
You only Eli drops down now. He pulls the jacks.
Yeah, my internet's
Used to be a
going,
time
guys.
Tim where I could never stay on panel ever.
So I'll let him drop his link and then we could do this next week. I don't think we got anyone next week, anyways. Do we?
So this is what I was telling Eli about, Jax. Who's I was talking about? We interview people, right? And that's what we do. We interview people.
Mhm.
I told him, so whoever we interview, have them up, and then have an hour interview, and then turn it into a big paranormal discussion. We get so many more people coming in here with the paranormal discussion than the plain old just okay, the interview's over, done.
Right.
We got so many more views. Like the last one, you get what, 200, Eli?
Yeah, we're gonna get a
And
lot
it's
with
still
this one.
climbing.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody loves when Jax comes up. Everybody, and we had you Vegas up. I mean, this is what it's about:
Yeah, we're gonna
discussing
do this next
things
week,
that people
so
don't really
sorry about
know.
that.
And I learn new things all the time when you come up, Jax, or when Brett comes up, and Vegas. We talk about
Remember, right,
it.
David?
You're never too old to learn something. And like, I'm doing the Nightmare Before Christmas, Hensley. I went to that cemetery,
Mhm.
and it was a beautiful cemetery. It was peaceful. It was quiet. But you know what? That's when you go to cemetery, you go to be at rest. And I think all of those people are just at rest, and they didn't want to have no foolishness talking on dang, whatever. But it just felt so calm and peaceful there. But I had never been there before, and even Hensley goes, that's a really pretty cemetery. It was a really discombobulated cemetery. Like they would have really big plots, and then right behind them they'd have 3 or 4 headstones. So it's old. It's been there for I don't know. It's right
pretty,
off almost off Route 66. It was so quiet in the pines. You could hear the wind blowing. You heard the train, but you didn't hear the cars. That was weird. And I went down. I was pretty much down there. He just dropped his
Hey,
name.
Sheldon
But it was
Jedi.
peaceful. It was quiet. Jason's gonna finish my video, and he's got like the name of the cemetery. I'm gonna put it out. But I'm doing the night before Christmas. My daughter's almost got the backyard down. We've been hearing some very interesting stuff there at night. And Megan's like, Mom, did you hear that? I'm like, yeah, I hear like horse clopping and then wagon wheels, which makes sense. It's a Wild Wild West. So it makes sense that there might be something out there. But this is the first time I'm actually going to investigate my backyard. So I'm kind of like,
Awesome.
That sounds awesome.
It does, and I don't have to go anywhere but right outside.
When are you coming to Nevada?
Right
Since
in the
we're
backyard,
since we're like 4 hours away.
Girl, I know. Jason and I were talking about it. When he can get I don't know, when he gets some time.
Because I'll be in Arizona in like 2 weeks if you want to meet me. If you want to meet me, I'll be in Arizona in 2 weeks.
Well,
Yeah, you guys can go do your nails and everything.
What?
Go do your nails.
You guys can go do your nails.
No, I'm gonna be doing a abandoned location. So
But where though?
I'll text you. I'll text you, Jax.
Hey, go do your nails and go to the.
If it's not too far away, yes, hell yeah. We'll
talk a little gossip, girl.
It's a weekend, right?
No, I'll be there between on a Wednesday or a Thursday. See, I don't really put my business on internet because of crazy. So I will text you and let you know.
Yeah.
All right, guys, my internet's about to go.
Okay, yeah, text me, let me know.
All right, thank you for having me on panel. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, girl. When I saw you chat, I gotta get that girl up here.
All right, guys. Hey,
What?
thanks for coming, and I'm gonna go because my internet, bro. Again, guys, thanks for coming.
You're gonna go. Bye bye.
Thank you for believing in our journey.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Jax. Thank you, Vegas, David,